Hello, good evening from wherever you are. This is Boniface Dibonde. So I am here, guys. Today I decided this evening to take you through some little few tips, especially to the poultry farmers. So for those who are doing poultry business, I'm here with some news for you. For those who are actually doing it as a business, you need to know a lot about your poultry. So guys, let me take you through the general signs of a disease in your flock. For you, some of you may just ignore some other signs, but this is one of the things that really you need to be conversant with. And before you even give a drug, before you even give a treatment, you need to know that really, is this a disease or this is a stress? So there are some signs that comes as a result of stress. When your birds are stressed up, they can show some signs which possibly, if you solve the reason why they are stressed, then the thing become normal. The birds become normal. So let me take you through some of the general signs of a disease in your flock. One of the signs, which is very, very important, low water intake. Guys, if you are giving your birds 10 liters of water in a day, and then all of a sudden it drops to 5 liters of water, let me tell you the truth, your birds are actually suffering from some disease that you need to know. That is one thing that tells you that my birds are not well. If they are taking little water in a day compared to what they always take. You get me? So that is really one sign that shows that your birds are not doing well. In fact, you have to start looking for which disease could it be and start looking for solution, treatment, direct. That is one thing. Guys, let me tell you the second thing that you need to know when your birds are sick. Signs that tells you that no, my birds are not doing well. So the other one is feed intake. So this is also one thing that shows that your birds are not doing well. Low feed intake. So when your birds are used to eat like you give them 10 kgs maybe in a day, or you give them 20 kgs, and then all of a sudden it also drop to like maybe they're eating less than 10 kgs, maybe they're eating now 5 out of 10. This is automatically one sign that your birds are not doing well. Feeding keeps on upgrading. Like when your birds are young, they eat less. When they get to some stage, the feed intake continues to go up. So when yours is actually going down, this is one thing that you need to know that no, I need to do something to my birds. You need to start digging for what could it be and what is the solution. Another thing, inactiveness. When your birds are inactive, oh my God, that is one thing that tells you that no, my birds are sick. You understand this? So you need to know how the birds should be behaving. Birds like to play, guys. Birds like to play. So when you have patches in your poultry house, and then you find birds are not jumping all over the patches, birds are just like they are not playing with each other. So that is one thing that you need to dig out to the ground. So if they are not playing, if they are inactive, they are not, they look like they are not even in the room. That is one thing that you need to know that your birds are not doing well. I'm going to come in another video, and then all these signs, I will break them into those diseases that come with these specific signs. So, but for today, we are going to just a general signs of a disease in a poultry house or in a poultry unit. Another thing is diarrhea. Guys, we have different types, different colors of diarrhea, depending on the disease which is affecting your flock. So for example, when you see greenish diarrhea, just know that your birds may be or might be suffering from Newcastle. So that is one sign that tells you my birds are having maybe Newcastle. You can confirm with other signs as well, but it may not miss when you have greenish diarrhea. So diarrhea generally is a sign of a disease in a flock. So you need to know this, okay? Some of you don't pay attention to the color of droppings that your birds are actually releasing. So this is very important. You need to know your birds very well. You need to know the color of droppings that they drop. You understand? So when you get like whitish diarrhea, what does it mean? When you get greenish, what does it mean? So diarrhea generally is a sign of a disease. It may be a very serious disease. It may be mild. It may be digestive problems. It may be some kind of, so anything. You understand? It may come. Another thing, coughing. Coughing is just something that you need to know. Either your feeds has problem or it is another disease. You understand this? So another maybe some bacterial disease that comes, and then the sign is coughing. Coughing is one thing that tells you that your bird is actually your flock is actually not doing well. You understand? This is one thing that you need to go to the root, and then you start looking for a solution. Guys, one thing that you need to know also, which is another sign, is that when your production rate decrease in production. So when you're dealing with layers, let's say you're dealing with layers, and then they used to give you, maybe within a couple of days, they used to give you maybe 1,000 eggs. And then all of a sudden this thing just dropped, and your birds are actually at they're actually at the top of their productivity. So you just have to know that something is wrong. You understand? So you need to know that something is wrong. This evening we are not wasting time. We are just going actually into the general signs that you need to know about your flock, poultry flock. So another thing is sneezing. So you know what I mean? Sneezing is actually one sign that tells you that your body is sick. They are sick. Actually, if they are not sick, then you have problem with the environment where your birds are living. The unit may be having a problem. So what problem am I talking about? Do you change your litters? So if your litters are very dusty, yes, they may affect your birds, like the respiratory system, and then it may lead to sneezing. But if not, if your litters are actually well and many birds are sneezing, just know that you have a problem in your unit, guys. So this is one thing that you need to know. These are the general signs. So another thing is gasping. Gasping is this type of behavior that you find birds are opening their mouth. They're opening their mouth, trying to suck in air, and then you may find one or two or three or many are trying to suck in air, like, so they try to get air inside. This is called gasping. It is also a sign of a disease. You understand? So when you see just one bird trying to do that, just know it may be the beginning of a disease, and then it starts spreading to other flock. That is one thing, guys. Another thing that you need to know, you need to be very conversant with it is that there is something called torticollis. So torticollis is like you find birds trying to twist their neck. Some people call it twisting neck. So they try to keep twisting their neck, and then this is one sign of a disease, guys. When you see that, just know, just start looking for a solution, and you don't need to delay. When you see that, that is a sign of a disease. And let me tell you, to be specific, torticollis is also a sign of Newcastle. So when you find your birds trying to twist their neck, there are other diseases that come with that, but also Newcastle is one of them. So this is one thing that you need to know. Another thing is paralysis. There is something called paralysis. Paralysis, like to make it simple, lameness. Some people call it lameness, and it is allowed. Paralysis is when your birds like the leg get paralyzed. You understand? So when your birds are actually, you find one or two or three are showing sign of paralyzed leg, they are getting paralyzed, just know that your flock is actually at risk right now. So you need to do something that, yeah, you need to do something. You need to see what is wrong with the flock. That is one thing that you need to know about torticollis and lameness and paralysis. So that is one thing. Another thing, guys, that you need to know is standing feather. When you find like the feathers of your birds are standing up, this is a sign of a disease. You understand? A sign of a disease. So that is one of the general signs. It is also specific to some specific disease, but as for now, we are considering also as a sign of a disease. So you need to know that birds should have a very smooth feathers. They should have a very smooth feathers, very shining. That is that to all animals, goats, sheep, pigs, and all the animals. They are always having a very shining air coat. They always have a very smooth air coat. So when you find them having like standing feathers, rough air coats, so something like that, they may be having, like for other animals, they may be having some skin diseases. But for birds also, that is not now the skin disease. So it may be a sign of any other disease. So you need to also be very alert when you see your birds having some kind of standing feathers. So another thing that you need to know is also sudden death. By the way, I was forgetting this. Sudden death. So when you find, like in a day, you just wake up in the morning and you find maybe 2 birds dead, and the previous day they were doing fine, they were okay, the whole flock was active, and then overnight, or like maybe in the evening, you find like two are dead. So you need to know that sudden death is also a sign that shows that there is a problem with the disease. This must tell you that there is a problem with your flock, I mean. So you need to be very careful when you see such a thing, and you need to just react very fast, because one thing about poultry is that the more you delay, the more you are risking your flock, and they reach a limit, they reach a point where even if you bring a drug and you start treating your birds, you will not change anything, or you will change very little. You will bring very little change into what is happening in your flock. So you need to just do your things, do the treatment, look for solution as fast as possible. Just when you see only one bird having a problem, you just have to start treating the whole flock. It is allowed. So all flock, you have to treat all the flock. When you see one sign with any of your bird, treating all the flock is allowed. So that is one thing that you need to know. There's another thing, before I forget, there's something called huddling. So when your birds are huddling is like you find 10-15 birds getting into a corner, and then they start staying together. Like you find them coming together into a corner, or like even if not in a corner, but like somewhere very like few birds turning into a corner, then they stay together. It may be because the room is cold and they're trying to generate heat within themselves, but more specifically, there is a problem also with your flock. So you need to solve that. You need to get the reason why they are huddling together. So some diseases come with such a sign that the birds feel like they should be on each other. So that is one thing. You need to get the solution, and that is, guys, what I have for you this evening. And there are more other signs that shows you that tells you that there is a problem with your flock, but these are the few that I have decided to generate this evening, and these are the few that I need to tell you that they are actually more than 80% of the general signs of the diseases in poultry. So you need to be very, very, very careful when you see one of these signs in your flock. Otherwise, you may lose all your flock, and this is not losing just birds. This is losing money. You will lose your money. That is one thing that you need to know. Now, if you find all these signs, or if you find any of these signs in your flock, guys, you don't need to rush. One thing that you don't need to rush with is to give your birds any drug. You need to be very, very careful. There is what is called drug resistance. When you give wrong drug to a wrong disease, let me tell you, time will come that drug will no longer work in your flock. You will have to change to another drug, or you may have nothing to do. So that is one problem with treatment in birds. You need to be very careful when you see this. Please contact a vet, contact your vet, contact your vet. Have a passionate vet in your farm. Have a passionate vet in your farm, maybe like to help you do the diagnosis and other treatment, maybe, or prescription and other thing. That is one thing you can do. But with treatment in birds, you can always do the mixing of the drugs by yourself. That is one thing you can do. So you need not to call a vet or any other thing, any other person to help you do that. But with prescription, like some drugs have prescription on them, but drugs also keeps on changing, and these vets are also always well conversant with what is in the field, and then practically they may also know better. So you need to contact them, you need to work with them, and then you find your flock doing well. Guys, until we meet again in the next video, remember I've promised you that I will come with these diseases and the signs that are specific to these diseases. That is in the next video. Guys, if you have not subscribed, please just subscribe. I can see 90% of my viewers are actually are the people who have not subscribed. You need to subscribe. You need to push me up so that this video can reach many people across the globe. So just subscribe so that your friend can also get to learn onto this video, and also you support me, you support the channel, you support me to do more research, more work on poultry and other animals. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again, bye bye.